London, a bomb went off in a London subway carriage Friday during the morning rush hour, injuring at least 18 commuters and sending them scrambling for safety in what police are calling a terrorist incident. Police and medical personnel rushed to the Parsons Green station on the London Underground's District Line after reports of the blast, arriving 5 minutes after the first call. Emergency services confirmed taking 18 patients to the hospital, none of them in life-threatening condition. The head of London Police's counter-terrorism unit, Mark Rowley, confirmed the blast was from an improvised explosive device and said the 18 injured largely suffered from flash burns. "We've hundreds of detectives involved looking at CCTV, forensic work and speaking to witnesses," he said shortly after the attack. "This investigation will be supported by our colleagues at MI5 and bringing their intelligence expertise to the case." Prime Minister Theresa May called a special meeting of the Anti-Terror Cobra Committee for Friday afternoon and London police declared it a terrorist incident. "My thoughts are with those injured at Parsons Green and emergency services who are responding bravely to this terrorist incident," she said. Parsons Green is in southwest London in trendy Fulham, a neighbourhood of Victorian row houses, furniture designers and Championship League soccer. Luke Walmsley, 33, a film editor, was on his way to work during a normal morning commute, listening to music. And then it was suddenly not normal. "I heard a scream and then there was a flash, a light, and smoke. I actually pulled my earplugs out and then the screams got louder and louder," he said, recalling people running toward him at the station. "It was chaos. It was every man for himself to get down the stairs and it's a very tight exit," he said, describing injured people on the ground. "I went back to see if they were okay, other people attended them, then there were nannies and moms asking where their children were." He said that on the platform, there were people helping others who were shocked and burned, bottles of water being poured over burns, quite severe burns, whole legs. London Mayor Sadiq Khan condemned the hideous individuals who attempt to use terror to harm us and destroy our way of life. "As London has proven again and again, we will never be intimidated or defeated by terrorism." A photograph on social media showed a white bucket beside a shoulder bag on fire, but little damage. Even the bucket was not burned. A Twitter user named @Riggs wrote, "Fireball flew down carriage and we just jumped out open door." 3 hours after the incident, President Trump tweeted, "Another attack in London by a loser terrorist. These are sick and demented people who were in the sights of Scotland Yard. Must be proactive." It was unclear whether Trump had been briefed by his security advisors, who told him something of the identity of the assailants. Neither the Metropolitan Police nor the British government have said anything publicly behind describing the detonation as a suspected terrorist attack. "Loser terrorists must be dealt with in a much tougher manner," Trump wrote in a follow-up tweet. "The internet is their main recruitment tool which we must cut off and use better." Trump also added that the travel ban into the United States should be far larger, tougher and more specific, but stupidly, that would not be politically correct. Commuters described scenes of panic to the BBC and there were reports of passengers with injuries, including facial burns. On social media, several users living near the Parsons Green Underground station tweeted their support to those affected, responding in a typical British fashion with "I'll put the kettle on." "If anyone needs a coffee, tea, a quiet moment or just a chat, please DM me. Going home now. I am on Dawes Road. 2 minutes to #Parsons Green," Twitter user Mava Gonzalez wrote. The United Kingdom has been the target of a string of Islamist-related terrorist attacks in the last year. A suicide bomber detonated his device in May at an Ariana Grande pop concert in Manchester, killing 23 people, including the assailant. In March, a terrorist drove his vehicle into pedestrians at Westminster Bridge in London and then emerged with a knife. He killed 5, including a police officer, before he was shot. In June, 3 attackers used a rented van to run over people on London Bridge, before they jumped out of the vehicle and stabbed more victims in the crowded Borough Market. They killed 8 people, before police shot them dead. Police investigators concluded the attackers were radicalized and inspired by groups such as Islamic State, but that they planned the assaults on their own. Paul Shem in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia contributed to this report. Read more.